Welcome back inside the Harris Center for our final game of the day here at the Wheelchair Basketball Tournament, Day 1 at Canada Games 2019. Alberta taking to the floor for their second game of the day, played earlier and a romp this afternoon against Newfoundland, and they will now take on Team BC. Mitch Robson here for your last game of the day, joined by the Frog, Mike Frogley. And Frog, what are you looking for Alberta playing in their second game of the day today?
So they've got the bugs off. They've got some of the jitters off. The big thing that if I'm Coach Nordell, what I want to see us add something from the game this morning. From this morning, we've learned something. We've learned something that we want to improve. We want to continue to improve as the tournament goes on, so that we can peak at that gold medal game. So he wants to add something and do something better this game. One or two things, maybe one on defense, one on offense, that they didn't do well in the first game. For Simon Cass from BC, he's got a young team. He wants them to just stay focused on the things that they can control and not get overwhelmed by the environment of a huge multi-sport games.
Starting for that young BC team, we have number 8, TJ Jung, number 10, Ben Hagel, number 11, Ben Garrett, number 13, Derek Jazuski, number 14, Gabe Harrison, and Alberta, it's the same starters as this afternoon, Andrea Nickerson, the siblings Dahl, Braden, and Jana, as well as Jana scores real quick off the hop right there. Also starting is number 14, Ben Tumac, and number 30, Braden Troutman. Here's Hagel. Kicks it over to Harrison. On that baseline, cross-court pass again. Back up top. Hagel going to let it go, and I think that one was blocked, partially at least, by Dahl.
You can see right off the bat, you can see something, similar trends. BC struggling to get to the rim, playing a lot of high, low, low, high game on the wings, and they're going to have to cross-pick somehow to get to the rim today.
Inside, there's Dahl. He feasted down there this afternoon. His first shot tonight is no good. That one tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with BC.
Yeah, we were talking off air about that expression, men amongst boys, and Braden Dahl is definitely a beast out there, definitely.
Here's Gabe Harrison. He's cut off by Troutman. Gets it back. Now has a little bit of room. Looking to pass, but no passing lane. Shot clock running down. He's going to have to shoot it. Really no angle there, and goes off backboard, no good. Here comes Braden Dahl. Wide open. He's going to launch that three ball. Look good, but too far. Troutman now circles around, has some space at the elbow. He'll put that one up. No good as well.
You can see as both teams are attacking, there are big gaps at the elbows, and teams are going to have to use that crossing attack, both these teams, if they're going to get to the rim and get quality scoring opportunities.
Harrison took a spill there. They'll reset. 13 on the shot clock. Reset to 14, excuse me. Harrison waiting. A lot of action going on down low in the paint. Right there off front rim is TJ Jung. Here comes Dahl trying to create space. He's got Troutman, the trailer, wide open. Settles into that one, but can't get it to drop. Into the front court here is Jung. Over to Ben Garrett. And Harrison underneath had some space, waited there, but still got it to go.
Yeah, great look by Gabe Harrison.
And you see here Ben Tumac, he really controlled the game from start to finish this afternoon. So we'll see what he can do here in the night session.
Yeah, Ben's a mature player, and he's got an outside shot that normally pulls defenses out and gives opportunities for his teammates to get to the rim, like Brandon Tartman got right there.
You see right there that over pursue to Tumac, able to free up Troutman for the easy deuce.
Yeah, BC having to respect Tumac's shot and rotating defensively there.
Jung, is it back? Garrett looking around. Fires it over to Ben Hagel. Flicks that down low. Jung with Dahl's hand in his face draws the foul. That'll be Braden's first. Jung will head to the free throw line. First one up, that one's good.
Yeah, one of the challenges for Alberta here is, we mentioned needing to continue to improve. Sometimes what younger players do is they come into the second game and there's a lull. They take a breather, and they can't do that. They've got to be very focused on improving in a couple of areas.
And especially for the coaches of Alberta too, after you roll to such an easy win in the afternoon, trying to get your team re-engaged.
There's that elbow attack. There's that crossing attack by Jana Dahl.
Braden kind of waiting there, and he just shoots it. Stuck there with really no motion. Loose ball, though, and Alberta will recover. Fresh 24.
Jana Dahl wide open down below. Alberta missing that, not seeing her.
And Braden fighting through the hands. Another miss. Hagel launches that one over the top. Garrett will collect it. Bring it forward. And the space just kind of opens up in front of him. He's got to put it up. Hesitated for a second and gave Dahl the extra second to come over and contest that.
Yeah, you needed to take that short jumper before the space closed on him.
And here comes Braden into the front court with some speed. Dumps that one down low. And they'll call foul before the shot. Be out of bounds. Tumac took that. And Alberta right now, I think, already seeing more resistance than they saw against Newfoundland this afternoon, so it's going to take them a few minutes to get into the flow of their game.
Yeah, they're a little bit disorganized right now. They got to settle in, communicate a little bit more on court. I like the pressure up court against the BC athletes. Try to, one, they've got some experience, they've got some athletes on the Alberta team, but two, try to put a little bit of pressure on that young BC team. Off the other side of it, BC staying calm. Simon Cass has got his team calmly executing, but can they sustain that through the entire game?
And you see there, BC going over what they want to do coming out of this timeout. You'd think Ben Hagel would have to get going for them at some point as well.
Well, really what BC's got to do is they got to make sure that when they did it, they're doing a good job handling the ball. Keep space with the ball in the open court and pass and screen away and pick away from it. But then inside the three-point line, they've got to get some kind of crossing attack where they're crossing and attacking at the elbows, and that will start to free up Ben Hagel. If they stick to that straight high-low, low-high game, Alberta will just push them out and they'll get stuck in outside shots. At the other side of it, spread BC out and look to cross and pick, and there's Jana Dahl open. Take care of the ball with the pass, though.
Really interesting play design there, too, starting her at half court and just having her shoot all the way down.
Gives her all the space to maneuver and read the defense and then cut on him.
Here's her brother Braden from just in front of the free throw line, and he drains it.
Yeah, you can see he took just a little bit more time. That's what he needs to do. He needs to remember that he is big out here and bigger than the other players, and take the time that he has to shoot.
Here goes Hagel. Hesitation. Has all the space in the world if he wants to shoot, but he won't. Down to the baseline and Harrison. Tries to cross back over, nothing doing. Hagel will put that one up a little flat. Gets his own rebound and a reset to 14. And they're really sagging off him up top, forcing him to dump it off to somebody else if he doesn't want to shoot. That one tipped and be a shot clock violation before the out of bounds.
You could see that Alberta has put Braden Dahl in the middle of their defense. He's their help defender, so that allows them to really put some pressure outside on the wings on Tanner Jung and then Gabe Harrison for BC, push them out wider, and Ben Hagel's a little reluctant to cut and Braden Dahl down the middle of the key.
Tumac will initiate the offense on this possession. He's going to pull from downtown off the back of the rim. Here comes Jung. Stopped by Tumac. Go back to Young on the baseline. Doesn't want to shoot, but will end up doing it and banking it in. Worked out in his favor on that possession.
Yeah, Tanner able to hit that outside shot, but that's not the shot they want to live off to win the ball game.
Dahl comes up court. Forces the offensive foul, and is that Braden's second? Yes, it is. Well, they're calling it his first now.
Oh, there we go.
I think it is his second.
Yeah, it is his second. But again, for these young players, they've got to adjust. The officials are being consistent so far in calling that offensive foul. You've got to make an attempt to show you've got control of your chair and stop yourself from running in. You can't just use the defender to stop your chair. And the young players in this tournament, they have to make that adjustment or they're going to continue to struggle against that.
And they bring in Reed Deeth to take Braden's place. In the afternoon, he was showing his shooting stroke. I think he might be one of the better shooters out here. And that one's drained by Hagel right there, and BC takes the lead.
Be interesting to see if Braden's presence in the middle, or lack of presence, gives that helps Ben be just a little bit more confident to take that look.
They dared Troutman to shoot that one. He didn't do it. Passed it off. And now Tumac trying to work on the baseline. He's got nowhere to go. Clock ticking down. He's going to have to take it himself. Really not the look he wanted right there. Deeth nearly saved it, tipped it back, and a shot clock violation. So even on that first offensive possession without Braden Dahl, kind of a loss of what to do.
Yeah, you could see the Alberta players kind of just pausing offside the ball and just watching the ball. It's a habit young players have, and they weren't attacking off ball, whereas Braden attacks off ball and changes the defense.
Here's Tanner Jung. Trying to get freed up with some picks, but nothing doing. The hesitation gives it back to Harrison. They whip it cross court to Hagel. And he's going to throw it up one-handed. Not a great look. Oh, and his man was underneath, but too hard off glass. For Matt Norris into the game. And down goes Troutman. So a foul out of bounds. And that will be Ben Hagel's first foul.
So right now, watching the Alberta players are having a tendency to read one-on-one and read the ball too much, and they're not reading off ball together to attack by cutting and picking together off ball.
Tumac gets left open, but he can't knock it down. And they will give that foul to, looked like they're going to give that foul to Norris.
So they're calling it an offensive foul.
Matt Norris. Officials have really tightened it up on these offensive fouls.
It's interesting. As young players learn to play the game, they focus so much on pushing. But one of the things they have to learn as well, they have to learn the mechanics of stopping. And this is a great example of learning how to stop so that you don't run into people, so you can control your chair.
Troutman sealed off. Only 7 on the shot clock. Frees himself up with the spin. Janadal's going to let that thing go from the outside. And Alberta's offense really stagnating at the moment.
Yeah, both teams struggling to find their find their rhythm and get in sync with each other.
Tough pass for Tanner Jung right there. Hagel didn't have the space to zip it in. Here's Deeth. Trying to drive. Gets bumped off his mark. Nice catch by Tumac right in the gut. Under 2 minutes to go. BC still leading 7-6. Not the prettiest game so far. And that's going to be another turnover on Matt Norris.
Yeah, Matt Norris took the ball into a place where there just wasn't any space for him to do anything. And young players have to learn to stop before they run into the defenders. Just a little bounce stop there, read the court, swing the ball.
Tanner Jung will check out, and number 12, Nick Van Backel, will check in for BC. Deep shot there for Reed Deeth, no good. Alberta's missed their last 5 from the field. Here comes Hagel. Head fake, kicks it back. Van Backel just into the ball game. Is he going to put it up? Yes, he will. Too strong. Nice rebound from Matt Norris. Can't get it to go. Van Backel battling, and it will go to BC. .14 on the shot clock, 45 seconds left in the first quarter. They run Harrison up top. Gabe Harrison looking for some space, crosses it to Hagel. Back up here to Derek Jazuski. And that's inside. Van Backel, no good. Second effort, yes.
Nice little baseline cut by Nick Backel. Brandon Troutman got caught ball watching instead of defending the baseline.
And Alberta here really needs to pick up the energy a little bit. Feels like they're lagging through this first quarter, which could be a side effect of having played already earlier today. Dump off to Dahl there. Nicely executed screen and roll.
And there's the BC defense having to jump Ben Tumac and respect his outside shot and giving up the roll for Jana Dahl.
And that will end the first quarter. So both teams held to under 10 points. BC's defense, once Braden Dahl left with those 2 fouls, the game totally flipped.
Yeah, it's a different style of game that Alberta plays when Braden's not in there. This is a teachable moment for Coach Nordell. He's going to talk to his players. He's going to get them settled down, get them back into the things that they want to do, particularly attacking offside. They're going to get the ball into Ben Tumac's hands, try to get BC players to jump, and then catch them in rotation for those rolls to the basket. While they're attacking on ball through Ben Tumac's shot, that's going to open up the elbow at the offside for either Reed, Death, or Braden Dahl if he comes back in to get into the key. On the other side, this is a great open for BC. You know, a young team like this coming out, starting like this against a veteran team in their home province. Really nice job. What they've got to do, though, as the game goes on, they're going to have to get some scoring opportunities that come through the elbows up high. If they try to go consistently through the middle of the lane, those spots are going to be closed up. And so they're going to have to get some crossing attacks that way.
And Braden Dahl will start the second quarter. So if you're BC, do you try to attack him and get him to pick up that third foul?
No, I don't think you adjust your game that much. I don't think Braden's settled down. He's a veteran player. You know, he's going to make the adjustment, I think. He's got to. And so I don't think you want to change what you're doing with BC and alter it because you've had successful so far.
They will get it on the inbounds here to start the second. Into Gabe Harrison. Thought about the shot. Over to Hagel on the right wing. He's got a lot of space. He'll put it up. It's short, though.
You can see Alberta's content to give up those kinds of 17-footers to BC.
And Deeth lost it out of bounds. Unfortunate turnover there on the break.
Yeah, 2-on-1. Him and Braden Dahl got just a little bit anxious.
Joel Ewert into the game for BC. He will inbound. That one lobbed up, really dangerous pass, and Dahl picks it off. He's going to get into the lane, try to draw the foul. Nice dump off to Tumac, but he can't finish. Deeth gets it blocked from behind. Nice play by Van Backel, catching up to the play.
Interesting. Reed's calling for a sub right now.
They're going to get next whistle. They'll have Troutman and Jana Dahlchuk back in. And that one's converted by Ben Tumac.
And there's that offside attack off the ball. Ben Tumac reading the defenders, getting in the key.
A little bit of full court pressure now for Alberta. Here's Van Backel looking inside, tipped, stolen. Momentum shifts. Deeth using his speed. Looks like he got poked in the eye, but recovered. And can't quite get it there. Tough fall. As that one's out of reach as he tried to go for the steal. It was Matt Norris.
This will be interesting. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Does BC go up court and put some pressure up court to get that shot clock violation?
Will be really tough, I think, for Alberta to get a good look at the rim with just 4 on the clock, too. And he tries to heave it. Throw it up to Dahl. Maybe he can get it to go. You got to throw it. Looks decent, just short. It was online, though.
And he almost got loose for that look. That's a spot where you want to extend and try to put some pressure to take away that scoring opportunity.
10-9, 8:40 to go here in the second quarter. Game's starting to pick up a little bit here. And a ticky-tack foul called there, Jana Dahl.
Same thing again, though. Jana overplaying high and giving Nick Van Backel that baseline cut. And you've always got to force those offensive players high, especially if you're Alberta, because you're forcing them back into Braden Dahl in the middle of the key more often than not.
That'll be Jana's first. Kick it deep outside to Van Backel. Inside, there's Ewert. He's trapped with nowhere to go. Here's Matt Norris on the run. No good. Dahl will move it forward. He's got his sister trailing him. Little hesitation moves. Gets all the way to the rim, nearly the and one as well. He'll get 2 free throws.
Yeah, you could see how quickly Alberta was able to pick Gabe Harrison 14 and Nick Van Backel in the backcourt, and that created that numbers advantage up court that we talked about in previous games.
And just like that, once Braden Dahlchuk back in, things have turned around for Alberta. They're a lot more aggressive on the offensive end, and it's helping them defensively too.
Yeah, now you can see them getting to the rim a little bit more.
First free throw off the back iron. Second one for Braden. Takes the breath, puts it up, and unfriendly bounce. So the game stays 10-9. And here comes Ben Garrett. Inside, Harrison trying to create space. Gets it, banks it up and through. BC goes back up front, 11-10.
Really liked how Gabe took his time, didn't rush the shot.
Now Van Backel gets taken out of the play by Troutman. Dahl comes in, good screen for Tumac, but a foul called at midcourt before the bucket. As Van Backel took out Braden Troutman.
Yeah, Braden Troutman hitting the ground a couple of times early here. He also plays with the Canadian wheelchair rugby program. And so I think he's going to like some of that contact. That's going to make him feel quite at home.
There you go. Troutman will grab it off the inbound. Kick it over. Back to Tumac up top. He wants that 3 ball. Nearly got it to go.
Yeah, you could see the defense jumping Tumac. They weren't jumping Braden Dahl. So they really need to initiate their offense through Tumac to open up those gaps for Braden Dahl to get to the rim.
Hagel nearly had the lane. Tumac came over to help, and they forced him into a half-court set.
Great recovery by Alberta. Really worked hard to get back in.
Then Backel has space. That one's flat.
Yeah, there's that long 17, 18-foot jump shot that Alberta will be content to give up to BC.
Here comes Tumac. Dumps it over to Jay Nadal. Inside is Braden. Nice spin. Great body control on that one to get it off.
So again, you see the offense get initiated by Ben Tumac through Tumac. The defense rotates to him, rotates to the ball, and that opens up that gap for Braden Dahl to attack offside. And that's what Alberta wants to continue to do, is to create those gaps for Braden Dahl.
And he's rolling to the other end for a change.
Yeah, it looks like he broke one of his wheels. So he's getting an opportunity to make a change on that equipment. He'll go back in and then take his free throws.
Maybe that'll reverse his luck from the free throw line as he struggled on his first 2 trips. Now you talk about how quick they can change the wheel. He did that in a split second.
Yep.
First one from Braden is halfway down and out. Tough luck at the foul line here in the first half. Second one from Braden with the BC fans making some noise. Off, so 0 for 4 start from the foul line.
So we really get a glimpse of the BC offensive set here. They're going to run this high-low, low-high game with Ben Hagel up at the point.
Tipped and stolen. Here comes Alberta. They've been held off the scoreboard for a while. Nice behind the back move from Dahl to Tumac, but he can't get it to fall. And they steal it right back. And now Dahl has a free release, steadies himself. Harrison didn't actually tip it, but I think his presence coming across made him feel behind.
Yeah, Alberta getting great opportunities. They've got to capitalize on these.
Inside, there's Garrett. Can't get it to go, gets his own rebound. No, not quite. Sloppy stretch right here for both teams. There's Troutman trying to get the angle, can't get a hold of it, and another turnover. Here comes Garrett. Looking, gives it over to Hagel in the middle of the floor. He's got all that space. Got to take that. You got to make that too.
It's a good look. I think Braden Dahl made him think twice about that nice little defensive fake by Braden.
And the lane just opens up in front of Braden, and he spins it up and through. And a lot of emotion coming out of Braden Dahl right there as they're finally back on the board now.
Yeah, even though the game's going back and forth and there's not a big gap that was created by Alberta, I think Simon Cass really felt that he needed to settle his guys down and his players down and just remind them of the simple little things that they need to do. They don't want to play that frenetic kind of up and down pace that Alberta probably wants to do, a little bit more open court stuff for Alberta. They want to be a little bit more methodical, a little bit more composed.
And you've almost seen that as Alberta baiting them into taking those shots from 18 feet early in the shot clock so they can get leakouts the other way.
Yeah, they start to rush a little bit, and Alberta's going to get those rebounds. They know they are, and their defenders are confident that those rebounds, they'll get those rebounds, and so they'll break early. And BC pausing just a little bit on those outside shots. Not always ready on the offside to get balance.
And if you're BC now, Braden Dahl's kind of a one-man wrecking crew. What are you going to do to seal him off on the defensive end?
Well, you got to push. You got to push the screen on Tumac's side out a little bit farther, and maybe be willing to settle for Tumac shooting some of those 17, 18-footers so that you can help to the offside instead of to the ball side. And that's a tough thing for young players to do, to recognize to help to the offside.
So here comes Hagel. Full of speed. He's sealed off by Deeth. Great defense. Van Backel inside. There's Tanner Jung. Good contest by Dahl. You see Coach Nordell settling his team down there. Trying to run a set. Deeth spins around. Dahl's got a shot, and it's blocked by Van Backel. Tough pass. Hagel fumbles it, but they get it back. And Jung now with some room. He's cut off. And a foul called there on Reed Deeth.
Yeah, Reed did a good job adjusting his chair position, putting good ball pressure on that. That's an aggressive foul, and Daryl Nordell, the coach for Alberta, he'll be okay with that. He wants to put that kind of ball pressure on the BC players.
They just dump it in Jung on the baseline here. He's got Dahl in front of him. Tough pass to try to make that inside.
Nice bounce stop by Ben Tumac in the open court. Kept space so we could get that ball to Reed.
That was a really heady play. Off the bounce, punching it over.
Oh, just those are the simple fundamental things that need to be done.
And Alberta extends the lead to 3, which feels like way more than that in a game like this. Tanner Jung. Over to Hagel. He's been quiet for a few minutes. He's got Nickerson pushed up on him. Jung's got to launch it. There's no time left on the clock. Nearly banked another one in. And Alberta really starting to get into their flow now. Inside Dahl eating up space, and he scores again.
And there we saw the defense have to extend out on Tumac with the ball, and that opens up those gaps on the offside for Braden Dahl. And that's something that Alberta needs to be consistently doing is stretching the defense like that.
And a 5-second violation right there is no one able to free themselves. And Alberta really forcing the issue now. And Coach Nordell going to take a timeout here. Draw something up on this inbounds. Braden Dahl looks fired up right now.
Yeah, he came out, picked up those 2 fouls, sat back down for a couple minutes, gathered himself. He's a veteran player. He knows what he's got to do to go in, and you see a lot more. You see that poise, that discipline when he came back in. He's controlled his position a lot better.
Switch out for his 3rd tire change.
Yeah, Braden's a physical player. He's come out to our National Training Center in Toronto, and he's been part of the Black Aces program, which is a group of able-bodied players from around the country, players like Braden, Ben Palmer from Quebec, who we bring in and give them an opportunity to play against our senior men's program and continue to give them that opportunity to be competitive and play against the best. And he's really grown from that, but like I said, he's a physical player. He's going to go through a lot of equipment this tournament.
So we will see what they have drawn up here. Jonathan Bilon will be the inbounder. And they just chuck it up top to Deeth with some space. Back over to Braden Dahl, who's going to put it up. No good. Tries to get his own board, but BC will come down with it.
Yeah, BC was extended on Ben Tumac without the ball. That was an opportunity for Alberta to pick for him without the ball, and that would have opened things up for Braden Dahl, the same as if Tumac had the ball in his hands.
Hagel with a little shifty move there, but too hard off back iron. Here comes Braden. Weaving, finds Deeth underneath. It's his spot. Can't get the first one to drop. Second one gets it to go.
So Braden Dahl doing a great job in the open court, keeping space from the defender with the ball so he could keep his head up and read that offside teammate getting open.
BC now on the wrong end of this run. Need to find a way to get a bucket. That pass behind. Van Backel comes out of his chair for a split second. And Gabe Harrison going to check back in for Van Backel. Tumac down to the baseline, looks around.
There's that pick and roll opportunity.
They seal off Dahl's lane, but then Tumac, an extra give and go, really heady play.
And simple little, they ran their pick and roll on the ball, swung the ball, and then ran their pick and roll without the ball, and a guy gets open.
And Alberta pushes it to a 20-11 9-point advantage as we go under 2 minutes here in the first half. Garrett looking around, trying to get it on a back cut. Nothing there. Tanner Jung back up top. Over to Gabe Harrison, wasn't quite ready for it. Able to recover, got to chuck it up. Didn't quite get it off. Oh, no, they're going to get a foul just before the buzzer. Bailed out right there.
Tough one because Alberta had done a great job pushing the BC screens out and really trying to create that 17, 18, 19-foot jump shot. And then to bail him out, that's tough.
Harrison short on that first one. He'll readjust. Second one gets a little more power into it, and that looked good. So BC breaks their scoring drought now, down 20-12. And here comes Dahl, weaving, easy peasy for two.
Great pick by Andrea Nickerson.
Totally wide open space, and then lost inbounds pass, and they'll get the foul on Hagel for a hold.
Those are those moments that you see young teams do after that easy bucket. They take a moment, they drop, they put their heads down, and they don't just go into the next play. They can't play in the moment yet. And they have just a little momentary lapse, and they turn these, a two-point possession into a 6-0 run.
Especially like that on an inbounds pass, too, where Alberta's going to be lurking. You can't be lackadaisical with it.
Yep.
And they kick it up top to Ben Tumac. Looking around. He'll let it fly. Drain it. Somebody's got to come back and help out for BC to get it in bounds here. And there's Gabe Harrison collecting it. Harrison bumped, holds on, gives it up. And they got Hagel free, but he couldn't put it up. Get it inside to Tanner Jung. Tough look with the two guys in front of him. And now Dahl will bring it forward. Looks up at the clock, starts driving. He's cut off. Back to Deeth. And they just chuck it down to him. Great catch inside. Really nice play there. Gabe Harrison knocking it out of bounds. And that saved BC an extra bucket at the end. So a smart play to end the half despite Alberta kind of getting on a run there the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they dodged a bullet towards the end. There were a couple opportunities that Alberta has had. Some wide open looks to the basket that they haven't capitalized on that would have changed the complexion of the game. Alberta probably came out a little bit too relaxed. BC, it's a solid first quarter, especially now we're starting to see them get a little bit unsettled. Simon wants to get them calmed down, keep space as they're attacking, keep their heads up. They do have to get some crossing attacks up in in the front court if they're going to be able to get to the rim.
Alberta leads this one by 12, 24-12. Head of the break. We'll be back with the second half in 10 minutes. Welcome back. We are about to get the second half underway between Alberta and BC here in the final game of the first day of the wheelchair basketball competition at the Canada Games 2019. And Frog, the story of that first half was BC's shooting, or I should say lack of shooting, touch inside.
Yeah, Alberta had done a great job pushing the BC screens on the wings out wide and forcing BC to take contested 17, 18-footers. And so they ended up shooting 21% for that first half. Alberta correspondingly shot 36%. They got to the rim a little more. They could be up by even more if they hit some of those wide open layups that they had looks at.
Well, and you see the only real struggle for Alberta in that first half was when the man with the ball right now, Braden Dahl, had to leave with his 2 fouls and picks up right where he left off with an and one.
Alberta comes out and they set up as if they're attacking the other basket. The young BC team kind of fell asleep a little bit and got taken advantage of. That's a veteran move by the Alberta team and Braden Dahl in particular to set that up coming out to start the second half.
Dahl really asserting his will since he's come back into this game. And they push that lead.
Great leadership. You can see the passion in Braden Dahl. People always ask like different things that great players have. One of the things that separates them is that driven passion.
And I think when you see that as a teammate too, it's going to up your level of intensity for the game.
Yeah, you get fired up when your teammates are playing like that.
Harrison launches from deep. That one had no chance. Seems like an ill-timed shot for the 3 right there. You see 3 defenders collapsing on Braden right there to try to stop him.
Yeah, they know how much it's going to take to stop him.
Here is Ben Tumac leading the offense. Over. Troutman's wide open. Can't get it there. And he'll laugh at himself on that.
So really neat thing. So you saw Braden Dahl there, probably not the best shot for Brandon Troutman to take, but Braden right over there just gives him a little tap. Hey, that's okay. Let's get a stop.
Dumps it inside. Tanner Jung got the angle and draws the foul. That'll be Jana Dahl's second, I think. It'll go on her. Oh, they end up giving it to Ben Tumac underneath. So Jung will get 2 free throws. First one, no good. Second one for Tanner. Off the side of the rim, Dahl collects the rebound. Comes Braden, gets 2 good picks right there in the open court. It's down to the baseline, he's sealed off, but here comes Tumac after setting the screen. Puts it up inside. Nice block from behind by Jung.
Nice patience by Ben Tumac to wait for Braden Dahl to get set in there. Braden just needs to go up a little bit stronger, a bit more aggressive on the ball.
And Braden gets taken out. Now can BC capitalize as comes flying back into the play, and he'll end up with the steal.
There's that up-court pressure by Alberta.
And knocked off his line by Jung. They'll give him a foul. Blocking foul on Tanner. Here's Tumac. Over to Dahl. That one no good. There's Hagel. BC trying to get it on offense. Norris is open underneath. Dahl gets back, not quite in time to contest, but he misses the shot. Here comes Jana. Nice pick there from brother Braden, and he gets it back. Easy finish.
Yeah. There's where Braden is at his best. If you can get the ball out of his hands and let him play without the ball. Really strong working without the ball. And that's what he got rid of the ball early in that possession, and he was attacking without the ball throughout. And he's got to continue to do that. Albert has to recognize that and get the ball out of his hands. Be a post for him in the half court and in the full court so that he can work without the ball.
Here's Harrison. Looks at it, leaves that one short as well.
And there's that outside shot that BC's being forced to take. And you live by the outside shot, you die by the outside shot.
And they've settled a lot on these last couple possessions of just firing it up, which plays right into Alberta's hands. Troutman has all the time in the world and couldn't get that one to go. Almost too much time. But a lucky bounce off of the foot of Gabe Harrison. Another chance for Alberta.
See Braden Dahl out there just shaking his hands like, settle down, guys, settle down. Let's get a good possession.
That screen from Tumac, nice dump inside to Jana Dahl. Little short. Tipped around. Here's Hagel. He'll look up, kick it over. Daniel Norris. He puts it up. That one's off the mark.
Yeah, Alberta didn't even look like they were going to come out and jump Matthew.
Tumac stops at his mark, tries to dump it inside to Dahl. That's a tough catch. 3 blue shirts around him.
Yeah, he had Jana Dahl on his side rolling to the basket, and they just need to communicate.
And a quick timeout for BC here, as they haven't been able to get anything going on offense in these first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, those little adjustments that that they need to make, just attacking in through the elbows, up high, and Ben Hagel recognizing or looking to create some kind of a cut going to the basket. It was interesting in the first half. I think Ben Hagel's 1 for 7, and he just had that one short jumper in the key that we saw. Everything else was outside. We didn't see him get to the rim. And they've got to figure out a way to attack through the elbows to get either Nick Van Bakel or Gabe Harrison or Ben Hagel to the rim through the elbows, because that's where the space is right now on that Alberta defense. It's not on the side of the court, on the side of the key.
One thing for sure, you don't want to see them settle for another long shot on this trip.
No, that would be that would be frustrating, I think, for Coach Cass.
Here's Hagel onto the baseline. Harrison looking inside, and a foul. They're going to call that one on Reed. Looks like a hold down low. So baseline inbound here. They get it over to Tanner Young. No real motion from the other side of the floor there, and just had to settle for that shot.
No, and it looked like BC was trying to run a power set with both Gabe Harrison and Ben Hagel running together, but they didn't get him the ball to really make the defense jump on that power side.
There's Dahl. He'll put it up and bank it in.
I love the way after he took that shot, he's the first one back on defense. He's hustling back on defense right away.
And taken out right there is Nick Van Bakel. They give it to Hagel here. Gets himself to the free throw line. Too strong. He struggled mightily with the shot tonight. Inbounds here goes to Belon. And a tie up.
Yeah, Tanner Jung and Braden Dahl hooked up their chairs, and Braden calling, asking the ref for an equipment timeout so they can get unhooked.
They will reset things here. Reed Daith. Probing around, left wide open. Why not give it a pull? Off the back of the rim. And into the game, Helena Sura, her first minutes of the day. She throws that back over her head. Lucky to recover. They send 2 guys up. Dump down low, and there's Jaina Dahl and one. That's the brother-sister connection.
Great look inside. You can see, so again, BC team jumps Reed way outside, extends, and then there's no help on the offside.
And it really feels like now the Alberta offense is putting on a clinic on how to play this BCD, picking them apart.
They really have their heads up. They're reading the whole court and attacking off ball. And that's how you get to the rim in wheelchair basketball, is you attack off ball.
Dahl will get a chance to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. And she does. So Alberta pushes their lead 34-12. BC looking for anything on offense. Hagel gonna almost isolate there. Van Bakel chucks it up, air ball onto the weak side. And Norris just an inch out of bounds. Unfortunate. Belong will inbound. They bring Hagel up for a little bit of pressure, but he's sealed off. And a late foul called there. Much to the chagrin of the BC bench.
Tough one. You know, Fred looked like or Ben Hagel, his nickname's Fred in their program. He looked like he had position. That's going to happen when you're an aggressive defensive player. You're going to pick some of those up, and that's why they give you 5, so you can make a couple, pick up a couple of those along the way.
And a tech called after the floor slap. So Reed will get a shot. Free throw line, knocks it down.
Yeah, anytime you have some sort of a display on the court that, you know, like you slam the ball or slam the floor, those kinds of things that are the types of things that embarrass officials. Those are the types of things that young players have to control. They have to control their emotions and stay focused on the game. It should be point of interruption, and should be Alberta basketball.
Looks like, yep, they will set up the inbounds as Dahl is collapsed again on by 3 guys.
I love how Braden off ball right now, even before the ball is being inbounded, he's trying to set a pick, trying to get a teammate open. Always working, always working.
They get this one to Reed. Nice catch on the move. Cross court to Braden Dahl. He's got some space. Will stop and score.
Tough shot, rolling jumper like that.
He is locked in right now.
Yeah, he's done a little bit of everything. He's hit outside shots, he's gone inside, and then these little jumpers in the open court.
Hagel sealed off. Norris there on the cut, didn't look up. Looked like he could have grabbed the ball and had a shot inside.
You see Gabe Harrison got in that time. He got in up high through the elbows, and that's where those gaps are that BC has to capitalize on. Either through cuts through the elbows or cross picks up the elbows.
Looking for an inbound. They just give it to the safety outlet in Harrison. Tipped away. Dahl. Great little spin off the contact while keeping control. Now Deith with a ton of speed moves forward. Cross court lob. Why not? You got the hot hand and he's feeling it.
Braden Dahl didn't try to get to the hoop that time. He's definitely
you don't need to.
He's got a rhythm.
Feels like he scored all of their points here in the second half. And a nice bucket there. BC finally breaks their drought as Matt Norris gets the one off glass and in. Here's Belon. Nice catch by Braden, just ripping that away. Nearly got the and one. They are going to call that a shooting foul. Yeah, it looked like he was in the motion.
Still, I like the way that Gabe Harrison, he didn't back off, and he's still playing hard. He's not flinching.
First shot, no good. Second one is up and through. And some new players finally getting in for BC. Riley Bissenden will get in for her first action.
Yeah, Riley's coming in, gets a look, and now we've got a bit of a, it's a little bit different look. We'll see if we can't figure out a way to get some, giving Ben Hagel a rest. And there's Riley going right to the rim. There's that cut that Ben Hagel needed to finish on too.
Brought back the other way by Dahl off the miss. Weaving and bobbing his way into the front court. No look pass out. And then he goes backdoor, textbook cut and finish right there. You can see that coming from a mile away too.
Great look. He cut baseline on him, and again, can't give up baseline. BC extends on Reed because they know they've got to respect his jump shot. And that's what opens it up for Braden on those cuts.
And you see the timeout right there from Coach Cass after giving up that wide open baseline cut.
Yeah, that makes it really tough if you got Braden hitting 17-foot jumpers and then you've got him obviously hitting stuff going to the rim. And that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for stopping him.
Now it feels like as soon as that first quarter ended, everything has gone Alberta's way.
Yeah, they settled in. They, Coach Nordell got them, let them go through that, used it as a teachable moment, settle his team down, and you see the leadership from Braden Dahl. You see there, he's getting more and more energized as the game's gone on. It doesn't matter what the score is. Every single possession to him is a battle. He wants to win, and he's conveying that to his teammates. And they're responding. They're all pushing hard, they're all working, and they're focused together.
And like you mentioned, this is a younger group for BC, kind of a developmental stage for them. How does going against arguably one of the better, if not the best team in the tournament in your first game out here help you moving forward?
It's a tough draw, but it is a young team, and this is an opportunity for them to learn. And I don't see them backing down. I see them continuing to push, continue to try to make the reads they need on offense and defense, and that's what they need to do. This tournament's, there's a lot of games left to play.
2:40 remaining here in the third quarter. That one inside, just out of the reach of Jung. They'll go the other way.
A little bit sloppy by the Alberta defense. There have been a few times when Tanner Jung's been able to get in offside. They need to come up, and they need to make contact with his chair and limit his ability to cut to the basket.
That one deep, feels like it's Dahl's first miss of the game. Deeth off on the rebound, and now Harrison. 1-on-2. He's got Riley Bissenden flying up the other side. Takes the hit, adjusts. No foul, there it is. Jana Dahl got a little aggressive with that reach. Baseline inbounds here for BC. They kick it up top to Jung. He's got space off that screen. Doesn't want to shoot.
And BC a little bit bunched up here. Now they get some space, and now they get an opportunity.
And just like that, he converts it once that thing opened up with Riley Bissenden spinning out to the other side. comes Dahl, full head of steam. Gives it up to Helena Sear from the top of the key. She knocks it down. Everybody moving with Dahl over the one side of the court, left the middle wide open.
You see Braden yelling at his teammates to get back on defense.
Riley's going to pull that one off the front rim, no good.
A lot of discipline by the Alberta defense. They've really recognized who they're going to jump and who they're not going to jump, and they've stuck with it throughout the game plan. Great seal by Helena Sear, by Halo. Great seal getting Braden Dahl to the rim.
Easy layup once again as Alberta pushes their lead to 30 with under a minute to go in the third quarter. Tough catch, and Dahl once again, he's everywhere. Force another turnover. And he gets fouled there by Jung. Stop the break.
You got to love Braden Dahl's passion and his energy out here and his leadership. You know, if somebody was to walk on in the gym right now, scoreboard's not lit up, take a look at Braden. They'd think this game is tied 100%. The way he's playing. And that's the sign of a great player. You play the same every single moment.
First one up from the foul line is good. He's absolutely rolling. Do you know his career high for this tournament? I feel like we could definitely hit it if he hasn't already. Second one, pure as well. Under a minute to go. Garrett will bring it forward for BC. Bissenden looks around. Tries to get it cross court. Oh, off the dome of Jana Dahl. Jung fighting for space inside. Nothing there. Riley Bissenden nearly steals it. Oh, nasty collision in the open court. Jung trying to swipe at Braden Dahl from behind. Took each other out.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where Tanner Jung really didn't have a play on the ball. He's better off to pull away from that and look to recover someplace else and let one of his other teammates pick Braden up on the drive instead of giving up these points at the line.
Braden will settle himself down once again. Made his last 2 free throws. Halfway down and out. Second one. Off back iron. Now 18 seconds. Let's see if BC can put together a good offensive possession to close out the quarter. Bissenden sealed inside. Harrison tries to catch one-handed. Can't quite do it.
Yeah, you can see the BC players as they're moving the ball up court. You're starting to see them cutting one-on-one, and they're starting to get away from some of the picking in the open court that they were doing in that first quarter that allowed them to move the ball into a good offensive scoring position.
Harrison coming over the top. They didn't quite get Dahl sealed off. Now 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, Harrison trapped, just throws it up. Absolutely locked down there by Alberta on the last possession of the third quarter.
So really important for BC when they come out in this last quarter not to throw away these repetitions. They're a young team, and they want to continue to work on the execution. And I know Coach Cass has been practicing with them over the past few years. These are all teachable moments, and they want to use this quarter to build as the rest of the tournament goes on. They open against, like you said, arguably the #1 team in the tournament. They've got other games against other teams that they'll be able to use these the things that they've learned from this game in those games, but they've got to stay focused. They can't throw away these reps.
And if you're Coach Nordell now, when do you decide to pull out your starting unit and let some of your less experienced players get some reps in?
I'm going to let them play well. I want to let them play well. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take my younger players and put them in sort of one at a time with my veterans. That lets those younger players have a greater likelihood of success when they get out on the court. You don't want to take a whole group of young players and all of a sudden throw them out there, because a lot of times they'll each make one mistake and then there's 5 mistakes happening in a possession, and the possession falls apart. Whereas if you've got some older players, some veteran players out there, that gives those young players an opportunity to learn and execute better down the stretch. So I think that's something we'll probably see Coach Nordell start to do as the quarter goes on, is start to get some of his bench in to give them some repetitions to get used to being in this environment.
Looks like Braden will finally get a breather here as he puts his warm-up shirt on down at the end of the bench. Well-earned break after that third quarter where he was in on every single play on both ends of the floor. So we are ready to rock and roll. Last quarter of the day here on day one. Alberta firmly in control. Nice cut there, and even though there were 2 men around, and a reverse finish for Ben Hagel.
Yeah, there we go. And he got to the rim. He drove baseline. They gave him that little seam.
Oh, it's too bad Hagel didn't have his head up there. Had a prime chance for a steal. But called for another ticky-tack foul.
Yeah, he got a little bit hooked up. I think he was listening to Coach Cass on the sideline say something, and he didn't quite see Helena Sear and kind of bumped into her just as the ball went to her.
Unfortunate break on that one. So Hagel will come out now. Sear will grab the inbound. Back to Deeth, thought about the shot. Dahl.
Yeah, BC's not jumping her.
Shot no good. Here's Garrett inside to Harrison. A foul. And Nordell yelling at his team to pick up the defensive intensity after that.
Well, BC doing a good job getting a back pick in the open court, picking out John Beal and Hollywood, they call him. And that created that space that gave Gabe Harrison that opportunity to cut high on that elbow.
Harrison trying to work. Down to Garrett on the block. Harrison comes back around, has a good look, trying to ball fake, fades back, no good. Here comes Reed. Fires it back up top. Tumac over to Sear. She knocks it down.
Nice ball movement. Really nice ball movement.
Gets Alberta to the 50-point plateau. Van Geckel thought about the shot. Back to Ben Garrett. Over to Harrison. He's stopped. That one's up, no good. Harrison right there for the rebound, makes good on it.
Yeah, there's it. Gabe got in again at that elbow seam, and that's something that BC's got to recognize. Their young players got to recognize that that's where the space is for them to attack when they're attacking offside out of those ball swings.
Sear looking around. She hits Deeth. Garrett launches it down to Harrison. He's trapped immediately, spins back over his shoulder. No way he was going to be able to get that one up.
It's a tough spot, but he's really working hard trying to get open.
Nice movement here from Reed Deeth. Whipped inside, Tumac. Back to John Belon. Underneath, too far. Recovery by Jane Dahl, and they convert.
And you can see the BC defenders extending again on the shooters for Alberta, and that opening things up offside. And Alberta doing a good job to keep their head up and read and see those offside openings.
Here's Ben Garrett. He'll take that shot. Too hard off glass, and Harrison controls the rebound. Harrison's doing a good job these last couple minutes.
I love how he continues to work hard, and he's recognized now that he's not going to get in through the middle. He's going to get in through that elbow, and he's even on the shot, he's still trying to work to get in. That at least put him in offensive rebounding position, and that's what set up this free throw, is he continued to work to get in.
First free throw from him, pulls it back, gets the roll. Second one from Gabe. Off the front of the rim, no good. There goes Tumac. The sea parting in front of him. And an easy coast-to-coast lay-in.
Yeah, you can see both Gabe Harrison and Nick Van Bakel both got picked out, and that leaves Ben Tumac with speed and space in the open court to attack some of the BC players that are a little bit slower.
Harrison can't get a handle on that one. Tanner Young will check back in for Gabe Harrison, who gets a breather after a couple good minutes.
Coach Cass has done a really good job today playing deep in his bench and getting a lot of his players in. I think he's gotten 9 players in now. That's really important for a young team, for everybody to get opportunities, minutes in these kinds of games, to learn from these games, and that'll set them up for later in the tournament and for the next quad.
There's Joel Ewert, one of those players off the bench, getting some extra run. That one halfway down and out for Van Bakel. Great catch over the shoulder by Ben Tumac. That one inside to a Jana Dahl on the roll. Nice finish.
Nice job by Ben Tumac, keeping his head up, pulling that defender out, and looking for that offside cut from his teammate.
Garrett looked like he wanted to pull that one from 3 almost. Van Bakel got all the way down there and able to finish it off.
Squeezed that one in.
Here comes Tumac.
There you can see the BC defenders jump out, and that huge gap high open up for John Beeland to roll to the basket for a wide open layup.
Total breakdown there. Had all the space in the world.
And that's that offside attack that Alberta's capitalized on all game.
Nice high five for John there in the huddle.
Yeah, Braden Dahl, the first guy to go over and say nice job. Yeah.
Like you said, a true leader in every facet of the game. And here are some of those subs now you see for Alberta checking into the game. We got number 7, Ramiza Hassan, coming in, along with number 8, Jamie Cole, and number 88, Kaylee Nordell.
Yeah, BC adding Megan Smith out there.
Riley Bissenden back in as well. Nice move there by Tanner Jung, kind of hopped himself into place.
Yeah, and he got in. He saw that little gap at the elbow, and he went through the elbow. That's the same gap that Gabe Harrison started to see. That's the same gap that Braden Dahl's seen, and it's constant across the board in all these games.
And correction happening on the scoreboard here.
So one of the really neat things that's going on out here right now is we've got 6 young women out on the court, and I think that's absolutely great for women in sport and this co-ed sport to see that many young women out playing together on the court at this level.
Alberta this afternoon also had a full 5-woman lineup at one point. It was really cool to see. There's Cole, gives it up to Dahl. Look at her slide through into the lane. Draws the foul. Riley Bissenden picks up a foul on that. First one from Dahl off the side of the rim. Second one for Jana. Off as well. Nice rebound there by Megan Smith. Inside Bissenden. Gets the bump.
So what's really neat out here is as we're watching, I really like the way both teams have been picking in the open court. You can see in the last possession for Alberta, they're crossing, trying to pick. That's what got Jana open going to the rim. Same thing for Alberta, or for BC. You see them trying to pick for each other in the open court. They're not stopping playing. They're continuing to try to work on the things they need to do well in a game.
Jung finishes that one off. Here's John Bilon. Back over to Dahl. Fires it to the left side of the floor. Hassan trying to free up her teammate. Jane is just going to have to let this thing launch from way downtown. Picked off by Riley Bissenden, and they'll go the other way. She spins back, looks around. Gets it back. Inside, Jung camped out in that lane again. Can't get it to drop, though.
He's gotten some opportunities in the key, and he's got to take his time and capitalize on them.
Dahl up top, looking for Hassan. Back to Vilon. He has some space. Tries to get himself going. Hassan underneath. She can't get it to drop.
Oh, Riley Bissenden wide open up ahead. And
there they get it to her. Was she too far underneath? Just a bit, it looked like. Unfortunate right there.
And Ben Garrett got caught dribbling with his head down.
Dahl ahead of the timeline. Gives it over Hassan. She's going to pull. Almost knocks that one down. And now Jung. He's got Lynette Boland on the left side. Gives it up. She's blocked from behind. Is Bissenden by Ramisa Hassan. Loose ball ends up back in the hands of BC. Garrett there had an open lane but decided to pass.
Yeah, Riley Bissenden, great job picking in the open court to get herself free in that spot. And you can see how she had to yell. Just managed to catch her teammate. But some of the BC players are getting caught dribbling with their heads down, and they're not seeing some of their teammates when they are getting open.
Megan Smith now in for BC, as well as Joel Akima. Under 2 to go. Cross court, Dahl, give and go, textbook.
Yes, we've seen some great passing here by Alberta. They really unselfish play, ready to give that ball up. And it's really paid off for them.
Bisson, lots of space. She gives it over to Akima. Right into the game, get that shot up. Make the most of your time on the court. Here's Jamie Cole. Spins back, has a little bit of room, going to the middle, dumps it back just behind Jana Dahl. Bolin over to Garrett. Inside Akima, gets hit in the face. He'll get to the free throw line. Joel will get himself to the free throw line here. That first one, up and good. Second one, no good, off the side of the rim. And Alberta takes one final timeout, I guess, here for the end of this one.
Yeah, Coach Norrell diagramming something up, giving a chance to work on something that they probably have done in practice but haven't had a chance to do in a game. And you want to do some things like that, take things from practice into games, even if they're not necessarily going to work.
So Alberta will set themselves up here. Cross court, Jamie Cole. Back to Jana Dahl. Inside, nice back cut from Cole. So she couldn't quite get a handle on it in time to get the shot up.
That would have been a great spot for her to just do a little reverse layup.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to drop another one now. Coach Nordell does not want the night to end.
No, he's going to get his money's worth out of this game.
Think about the broadcasters who have been here, Coach, all day.
Yeah, on the other side, you see Coach Cass. He's diagramming up how he wants them to stop them. Again, teaching, coaching, right to the buzzer. But that's important too, because when coaches do that, they're sending a message to their players that you play right to the buzzer too. And for young players, particularly in the BC team, that's what Coach Cass wants. He wants them to play all the way through, to learn how to play for 40 minutes.
Wow, and they get it. 1 second on the shot clock, and Jay Nadal comes in firing. Really great play design.
And just like Coach Nordell drew up, I'm sure he's perfectly happy for that one.
Give himself a nod for that. Under 30 seconds left. Okima will fire from deep. No good. Rebounded by Lynette Boland. He's getting his money's worth for shots after covering the game. And Riley Bissenden taken down half court.
I like that. Just at half court, one player gets knocked out, another one, opposite, not on the same team, but they go up and just give a little tap and say, hey, good pushing.
Billon will inbound. And Cole looking around. 10 seconds left. Looks like they'll be content to just hold on to it and run this one out and move to 2-0 here after 2 big wins on a Sunday afternoon and evening here at the Gary Harris Center.
Yeah, great effort by both teams. We really saw, Alberta adjust after that opening quarter and really start to play the game that they want to play. Be really interesting to see the types of things that Coach Nordell wanted them to add this game, because they did a lot of things really, really well in those last 3 quarters. And for Coach Cass, he saw some promise in that first quarter. Mm-hmm. And what he wants to do now is he build off that and have his young players see what they can do when they're focused and be able to carry that over quarter after quarter after quarter.
Great first day of action here at the wheelchair tournament here at the Canada Games. I think we're looking forward to a great week. Any final thoughts from you before we sign off for tonight?
If somebody was watching this game, I would tell them, go find somebody else to come and watch this game, because it's only going to get better as the tournament goes on and as the players settle in and the games get tighter and tighter, and they're going to get a chance to see some athletes that aren't just playing here in Canada Games, but are one day going to go and represent Canada on the international stage.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. For my partner, Mike Frogley, I'm Mitch Robson, coming at you, signing off from a great first day of action. We'll be back here all day tomorrow for another full slate of games.